Okay, let's unpack this. You're probably pretty familiar with the term smart city, right?
Hmm. Definitely.
Yeah, these, urban areas buzzing with IoT sensors, promising more efficiency, maybe a more connected life. We've heard about it for years now.
For quite a while, yes.
But what if I told you that whole concept isn't just getting like an update? It's being fundamentally reimagined.
Complete rethink.
Exactly. We're talking about cities that aren't just smart. They're genuinely AI powered, where artificial intelligence isn't just, some added feature.
Yeah.
It's more like the city's operating
The
system.
core intelligence, yeah.
And this transformation, it's set to touch basically everything you experience in a city, your
Yeah.
morning commute, how the city plans for, say, a major heat wave. It's huge.
It really is. The scope is massive.
So our mission today is to take a real deep dive into these AI-powered cities of the future. We want to explore what they actually look like, how they work under the hood, the kind of tech making it possible.
The nuts and bolts.
Yeah, and the really exciting benefits this could bring for you, the resident. But also, let's be real, the significant challenges cities face in actually getting there.
Absolutely. It's not a simple switch.
No. And to guide us, we've got a fantastic stack of sources, really rich insights from Deloitte, ServiceNow, NVIDIA, ThoughtLab, Forbes, Earth Day, the Journal of AI Range, Stack AI, Security Today, Emma a whole lot more. It's going to be, hopefully, a really comprehensive look at what feels like an urban revolution.
What's truly fascinating here, I think, is that we're looking at something way beyond just a tech upgrade. It's more fundamental.
Right.
As Jambi Dilbarim from NVIDIA puts it, he's their global lead for smart cities.
Yeah.
This is a real inflection point. He compares it in scale to, like, the arrival of the internet itself.
Wow. Okay. That's a big statement.
It is. Think about that level of change. We're talking about AI impacting, well, every single aspect of the way the city operates.
Every single aspect.
That's what he says. From, the deep infrastructure roads, power grids, water systems, right through to public safety, how you interact with local government. He actually says you can't really come up with a single city department that can't be enhanced with AI.
That's pervasive.
It is. It's foundational. And my goal today is really to help cut through some of the noise, maybe provide a clearer roadmap to understanding this huge change, and, crucially, how it directly impacts your daily life, making things not just smarter, but ideally more intuitive, more responsive.
Okay, so let's start there. Let's look at the foundation, the smart city idea we kind of know. We've pictured these connected places, right? Data helping things run better.
Mm-hmm. The baseline concept.
Tanya Ott from Deloitte helps frame this.
Yeah.
A smart city is essentially, this network of sensors all linked up via the Internet of Things, the IoT.
Right. Collecting information.
Exactly. And the goal is pretty clear. Improve efficiency, make the city more livable, more responsive to what residents actually need. It's built on data, on connectivity, creating a more informed city.
Data collection and connection, basically.
But here's where it gets really interesting. The real leap happens when AI comes into play. This isn't just a little boost. AI radically supercharges that whole smart city journey.
Okay, radically supercharges. How so?
Well, Costi Pericos at Deloitte UK, he leads their global generative AI business.
Mm-hmm.
He notes that AI dramatically increases the speed, pace, and effectiveness of smart cities. Think about that. Speed, pace, and effectiveness.
So it's faster and better.
Yeah, and it fundamentally changes the dynamic. It's no longer just about collecting data and maybe looking at it later on a dashboard.
Yeah.
AI allows cities to understand that data, like instantly, at a massive scale, finding complex patterns, making pretty accurate predictions.
The predictive part.
Exactly. And then, crucially, acting on those insights, often in real time. It moves from just watching to, intelligent action.
From passive observation to active response. Got it.
And from your perspective, as a citizen, this changes pretty much everything. Nick Holmes from ServiceNow, he's their director for sustainable infrastructure, talks about this really neat concept, the single pane of glass.
Okay, single pane of glass.
Yeah. Think about it. As a citizen, what you really want is simplicity, right? You want one easy, intuitive way to access all the government services you need.
Like a single front door.
Exactly. Renewing your driver's license, reporting that annoying pothole, finding out about local events. Imagine doing all that through one simple interface without ever seeing the messy web of different departments and clunky IT systems behind it all.
Yeah, you don't care about the back-end complexity.
Right. AI is that invisible engine connecting all those dots for you, making that smooth, integrated experience possible. It makes dealing with the city feel less like wrestling with bureaucracy and more like, using a really smart personal assistant.
And connecting that to the bigger picture, an AI-powered city isn't just using AI here and there. It's about weaving AI into its very fabric, as Costi-Purkos puts it.
Into the fabric.
Yeah, which makes the whole urban environment feel, well, seamless, almost like it anticipates what you need.
Can you give an example? Paint that picture.
Sure, imagine you step out your door in the morning, right? And an automated cab, maybe perfectly sized for you, is already there. It's anticipated your likely destination based on your calendar, maybe your past travel patterns.
Okay, that's pretty futuristic.
Or think about lunch. Maybe your favorite lunch gets delivered right as you sit down at your desk because AI knows your preferences, maybe even factored in your meeting schedule for the day.
Yeah.
Or, end of the day, a taxi arrives perfectly timed to get you to the train station, exactly lining up with the train schedule, all orchestrated kind of behind the scenes by AI.
So things just work.
Things just work for you, smoothly, effortlessly, often without you even realizing the complex calculations happening. Michael Flynn from Deloitte, Ireland, he really reinforces this. It's all about a vastly improved user experience for living in a city where you feel connected and services really work for you, almost guessing what you need next. It makes the city feel less like a disconnected set of services and more like, well, an extension of your own needs.
That seamless experience sounds amazing, almost like magic.
Mm-hmm.
But okay, how does it actually work? Let's peel back the curtain a bit. What are the fundamental bits and pieces powering an AI city?
Right. Let's get into the inner workings. Jumbi Adolbaram from NVIDIA, he breaks down the AI-powered city services into basically two major buckets. Understanding these is pretty key.
Okay, 2 buckets. What's the first one?
Bucket number 1 covers what he calls data-driven services. This is really the foundation. It needs a super robust data infrastructure on the back end.
Data infrastructure, meaning?
Essentially making all the data from across all the different departments available in what we call a large vector database. Think of it like creating a universal translator for all the different types of data a city produces: traffic flows, energy use, public health stats, you name it.
So putting it all in one place, speaking the same language.
Exactly. This unified approach makes all that raw information accessible for really deep analysis, finding correlations, making predictions, stuff that was basically impossible when data was stuck in separate department spreadsheets.
Right, stuck in silos. Okay, so that's bucket 1, data-driven services. What's bucket 2?
Bucket 2 involves real-time decision-making systems. These are built for the really dynamic stuff, like our critical utilities, power, water, waste management, services that need constant, tiny tweaks to handle changing demands.
Okay, dynamic services.
Yeah.
Like responding to things as they happen.
Precisely. Think about those massive electricity spikes on a really hot day when everyone turns on their AC. Or sudden shifts in water use during a drought, or even unexpected piles of trash after a big festival. AI is crucial for managing these fluctuations efficiently, proactively adjusting supply and demand to keep things stable, prevent blackouts or overflows.
So it stops the city constantly playing catch-up.
Exactly. Without that real-time agility, you get inefficiencies, service failures. It's vital.
Okay, that makes sense. So going back to that first bucket, the data. It sounds like data is the absolute fuel here.
It absolutely is. But it's not just about how much data anymore. Quality and diversity are key. Costi-Purkos really stresses that the newer AI algorithms are even more data hungry than the older ones.
Hungrier for data.
Yeah, and they're much more sensitive to the quality of that data. Garbage in, garbage out, right? So cities really need to think strategically about placing sensors around the city, not just throwing them anywhere, but placing high-quality sensors smartly to collect really good, high-quality data.
Right. Targeted data collection.
But the real magic is what AI can do with all that different data. Jumbi Adolbaram points out AI's amazing ability for ingesting multimodal data.
Multimodal.
Yeah.
Meaning different types.
Exactly. Not just the neat structured stuff like forms or spreadsheets, but also the huge amounts of unstructured data. Things like audio from public microphones, maybe video feeds from countless cameras watching traffic, public squares, bridges.
Okay, so video, audio, text, numbers. All of it.
All of it. AI's power lies in its ability to bring all this disparate data together, make it uniformly accessible, understandable, and most importantly, ready for action.
And once it's all together and organized.
That's when AI really flexes its muscles, moving beyond just collecting to powerful predictive analytics. Like Jumbi Adolbaram says, AI is really good at taking all that data and using it for predicting predicting traffic jams, energy demand spikes, even potential public health issues across the city.
Wow. Predicting health issues.
Yeah, based on patterns, maybe anonymized data. This gives city managers this absolutely amazing value add. They can see problems coming and act before they happen. That translates directly into real benefits for you, the resident.
And are departments actually sharing data now? Because that's always been a hurdle.
That's a great point. And encouragingly, what we're hearing is that departments that were traditionally hesitant to share data are willingly doing so now. Why? Because the benefits of breaking down those silos are becoming just too obvious to ignore. The value is clear.
So the results are speaking for themselves.
It seems so. And ultimately, as Nick Holmes from ServiceNow confirms, AI helps cities simply make better decisions. It chews through these massive, complex data sets incredibly quickly, finds optimizations, gives decision makers clear, data-backed recommendations, and can even simulate the potential consequences of different choices.
So they can see, if we do X, then Y might happen.
Exactly. It allows for genuinely informed, forward-looking governance, moving away from just reacting to today's problems towards actively shaping a better urban future.
Okay, now that we've kind of looked under the hood and seen the engine, let's get back out onto the streets, so to speak. What does this actually look like? You mentioned the commute, safety. How does this AI stuff actually change the concrete experience of living in a city day to day?
Right, let's make it tangible. The applications are incredibly broad, touching almost everything. One of the first places people often see the impact is mobility and transportation.
Makes sense. Traffic is always a headache.
Always. Jumbia Dolbaram points out, traffic congestion consistently ranks as a top, if not the top, quality of life complaint in cities. It's frustrating, wastes time, costs money, pollutes.
Yeah, it affects everything.
Exactly. So AI can analyze real-time data from maybe hundreds or thousands of intersections, looking at vehicle counts, pedestrian crossings, bus schedules, even unexpected stuff like accidents or sudden downpours.
All of that input.
Right. And based on all that, it intelligently controls the traffic lights. It's not just fixed timing anymore.
Adaptive signals.
Exactly. And this doesn't just speed things up, it makes intersections much safer. Jumby highlights a sobering fact. Thousands of deaths happen at intersections every year simply because the lights aren't smart enough to adapt to what's actually happening. AI can change that.
That's a powerful impact. Are there cities doing this well?
Definitely. Singapore is a standout example. Their AI-driven system cut peak hour delays by 20% and boosted rush hour speeds by 15%.
20%. That's huge.
It is. And think about the ripple effects. Quicker commutes, safer journeys, and because there's less stop-and-go traffic, vehicle emissions drop significantly. Cleaner air. Los Angeles has also seen great results with similar adaptive signal systems. It's a system that's constantly learning, constantly adjusting.
Okay, so that's cars. What about buses and trains?
AI is transforming public transit too. It helps with route planning, predicting demand. It allows transit authorities to dynamically adjust bus or train routes based on real-time passenger numbers, maybe big events happening, or even unexpected delays on other lines.
So more flexible routes.
Yeah. Again, Singapore's a good example. AI helped boost public transport use by 25% and cut waiting times by 15%. And interestingly, Earth Day points out that these optimized routes also led to a 10% cut in emissions.
So it's efficient, convenient, and green.
Exactly. It tackles multiple problems at once. And for shorter trips, what's called micrommobility. Shared bikes and scooters. AI helps manage where they're placed, making sure they're available where needed, reducing clutter, and helping with those first last-mile connections.
Finding a scooter when you actually need one.
Right. Even finding a parking spot is getting easier. AI systems can show drivers available spaces on their phone, cutting down frustration, and also reducing the extra traffic caused by people just circling, looking for a spot. It's about smoothing out all those little friction points and getting around.
That whole mobility picture sounds much less stressful. Okay, you mentioned safety earlier. How does AI play into public safety and emergency services? That feels critical.
Absolutely critical. And here, AI allows a real shift from just reacting to being proactive. Think about smart surveillance systems. They're not just recording anymore.
They're analyzing.
Yes. Analyzing footage in real time for unusual activity, maybe spotting a specific license plate in a context that raises flags, detecting security threats much faster and more accurately than humans alone could manage, as Stack AI points out. But it's broader than just cameras. AI significantly boosts emergency response. It analyzes a situation as it unfolds, say a fire or a major accident, predicts the fastest routes for responders, and helps dispatch exactly the right resources, paramedics, fire trucks, police, based on the specifics of the incident. Both Nick Holmes and Jumbi Abdulbaram really emphasize this point.
Getting the right help there faster.
Exactly. And we're also seeing the rise of predictive policing and prevention. Now, this is an area that needs really careful ethical handling.
Right. Potential for bias there.
Huge potential. But the idea is AI analyzes historical crime data, layers in maybe demographic or environmental factors, and forecasts where certain types of incidents are statistically more likely. This allows police to deploy resources proactively, potentially deterring crime. Bill Eggers at Deloitte calls this part of anticipatory government, using AI not just to predict, but to actively prevent undesirable things, whether it's crime, fraud, or even helping tackle complex issues like the opioid crisis.
Anticipatory government, that's a fascinating idea.
Isn't it? And think about this. In a critical moment, imagine someone calls 911, but they speak, say, Croatian, and there's no Croatian-speaking operator available right then. Jumbi Abdulbaram gives this example. Agentic AI could provide real-time translation.
Wow, instant translation on an emergency call.
Yeah, enabling communication, enabling services that just weren't possible before. It could literally save lives by bridging that language gap in a high-stakes moment.
That anticipatory idea, moving from reaction to prevention, that seems like it would apply really well to managing resources and the environment too.
Precisely. When we talk about sustainability and resource management, AI is becoming absolutely foundational for greener, more efficient cities. Take energy optimization. AI is the brain behind smart energy grids.
Smart grids, right.
It monitors usage constantly, predicts demand spikes, maybe based on weather forecasts or big events, and intelligently reroutes power where it's needed, optimizing flow to buildings, homes, public transport. Sources like Earth Day and Stack AI really highlight AI's role in managing renewable energy too, like solar and wind, making their variable output more predictable. Singapore's doing great work here.
What about things like trash and water?
Good question. For waste management, AI logistics are streamlining collections. Barcelona is a great example mentioned by Earth Day and Stack AI. They use smart bins with sensors that signal when they're full.
The bin texts the truck.
Basically. And GPS on the trucks helps plan the most efficient collection routes. Less fuel used, fewer overflowing bins, cleaner streets.
Makes sense.
And water. Similar logic for water management. AI tracks usage, helps find leaks in those vast underground pipe networks, a huge source of waste, and predicts demand based on weather. Sensors can even trigger automatic shutoffs if a major leak is detected. Raleigh, North Carolina, uses sensors to spot early signs of sewer blockages and forecast flood risks, while machine learning predicts water main breaks so they can fix them before they burst.
Proactive repairs again.
Exactly. Saving water, saving money, preventing disruption. It's all about being smarter with precious resources.
And that proactive idea extends to all infrastructure, right? Roads, bridges.
Absolutely. Infrastructure and predictive maintenance is another massive win for AI. Imagine sensors embedded in roads, bridges, water mains, train tracks, constantly sending back data on their condition.
Like a health checkup for the city.
The continuous one, yeah. AI analyzes all that data to predict exactly when and where repairs are needed, often long before engineers would spot a problem visually. This prevents catastrophic failures, avoids costly emergency repairs, minimizes disruption, and crucially, improves safety. Stack AI talks about this, and Tokyo uses it extensively in its huge transit system to cut delays and keep things running safely. It keeps the city's skeleton strong.
That's incredibly valuable. What about planning new parts of the city? Does AI help there?
Fundamentally changing urban planning. AI can simulate complex scenarios. What happens if population grows by X%? Where will traffic get worse? How will new buildings affect wind patterns or sunlight? Bill Eggers mentions using digital twins and AI for really detailed microclimate modeling, helping cities avoid creating those urban heat islands when they build new developments.
Okay, you mentioned digital twins. What exactly is that?
Michael Flynn gives a good explanation. A digital twin is basically a dynamic digital replica of a physical asset. Could be a building, a whole district, or even the entire city. It integrates all sorts of real-time data.
A virtual copy.
A virtual copy that's constantly updated. And you use it to predict, to plan, and to run scenario tests on what happens if. Planners can test different development options, assess operational efficiency, model resilience to things like floods or storms, see how a building interacts with its environment, all before breaking ground.
Like a SimCity for real urban planning.
A very sophisticated one, yeah. Barcelona has a local digital twin that simulates air pollution, noise, traffic, even how people move around the city. Earth Day reports this is revolutionizing how they monitor the city, plan for the future, and even check if they're meeting goals like the 15-minute city concept where daily needs are reachable within a short walk or bike ride. It's like having a crystal ball, but based on real data.
That's incredible. And finally, how does this change how you interact with the city government?
It makes public services and citizen interaction much smoother. Think AI-powered virtual agents chatbots. Essentially, that can handle a huge volume of common inquiries, process service requests, even take initial reports for things like downed trees or streetlight outages. Nick Holmes says it makes interaction really easy.
Takes the load off call centers.
Exactly. And AI connects the dots. Nick gives this clever example. Maybe you go online to renew your driver's license, and the system flags an unpaid parking ticket you forgot about.
Ah, linking things up.
Yeah, enabling even better citizen services by anticipating things or resolving multiple issues at once. And it can drive real social good, too. Earth Day mentions Barcelona's AI-powered employment platform that helped match over 73,000 people with jobs in 2024. AI directly helping people find work. It's about making government feel less like an obstacle and more like a helpful partner.
That's a really impressive range of applications, showing how AI is already getting woven into city life. But AI itself is evolving so fast. You hear about generative AI, other types.
Yeah.
What's next? Is there another layer to this?
There absolutely is, and understanding this next step is crucial. We need to talk about the difference between the generative AI most people are familiar with now and this emerging concept of agentic AI. The distinction really matters for where cities are headed.
Okay, generative versus agentic. Let's break that down. Generative AI is like ChatGPT, right? Creating text, images.
Exactly. Jambi Adubabaram points out that generative AI is typically trained on a particular model to answer specific kinds of questions or perform specific tasks. It's fantastic at summarizing documents, writing emails, generating code, creating images based on patterns it learned from huge data sets.
Right, you give it a prompt, it gives you an output.
Precisely. Costi Pericos sums it up as prompting and eliciting an answer. But, and this is key for cities, it's not inherently built for real-time, dynamic, often unpredictable physical tasks. If a situation goes way beyond what it was trained for, Jumby notes, it may require it to be retrained. That's not practical for managing a city second by second. It responds, it doesn't necessarily act autonomously in the physical world based on new information.
Okay, so it's powerful, but maybe not agile enough for some city tasks. So what's agentic AI?
Right. Now, enter agentic AI. Costi Pericos calls this the next level of intelligence or automation in AI.
The next level.
How? Unlike generative AI needing specific prompts, agentic AI, according to Stack AI, can adapt and act in real time without needing constant retraining. Forbes defines it very clearly as AI systems capable of using data to take actions without human guidance.
Without human guidance, so it makes decisions on its own.
Based on the data and its goals, yes. This ability to autonomously act based on dynamic, unfolding information in the real world is what makes it potentially transformative for cities. It's not just processing information, it's making decisions and doing things in real time to achieve an objective.
Okay, that sounds like a significant jump. Where would we see agentic AI being used in a city?
Jambi Adulbaram highlights 3 big areas where agentic AI systems are proving super useful, or will be soon. First, back to traffic management. Traffic is inherently dynamic, right? Accidents, weather, events.
Always changing.
Exactly. Agentic AI can take in all that real-time data sensors, cameras, traffic feeds, and dynamically operate the traffic lights, maybe change speed limits on digital signs, actively reroute traffic to improve flow and safety, all without a human constantly tweaking things.
Like invisible, super smart traffic controller.
Pretty much. Second, utilities. Water, electricity, waste. Demand is always fluctuating. Agentic AI can optimize supply and demand in real time. Imagine it automatically rerouting power based on localized weather patterns or adjusting water distribution instantly if a major leak is detected, minimizing waste and ensuring service quality. It leads to cost savings, too.
Real-time optimization.
Yes. And third, broadly, public safety. Agentic AI can enhance emergency response not just by analyzing a situation, but by initiating actions ensuring the right resources are sent to the right place at the right time based on its real-time analysis. And remember that translation example.
The 911 call in Croatian.
Exactly. That's agentic AI providing a service real-time translation enabling critical communication that simply wasn't possible before. It's moving beyond just assisting humans to taking intelligent, autonomous action when needed.
That potential for autonomous action is, well, it's huge, but it also sounds incredibly complex to implement. Which brings us back to the challenges. This amazing vision isn't just plug and play, is it? What are the big hurdles cities face trying to make this AI-powered future a reality?
No, definitely not plug and play. The journey is promising, but the challenges are real and multifaceted. Challenge number one, just the sheer power and compute infrastructure required.
Powering all this AI.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Costi Pericos points out these AI algorithms are very power hungry. They bring additional energy needs that are significant. He makes a great point. In many cities, the existing electrical grid is already straining under the load from things like more people using heat pumps or charging electric cars.
Right, the grid's already stressed.
So, layering the massive computational demands of citywide real-time AI onto that, it means thinking about power delivery as a core foundational requirement. Jumbi Adulbaram adds that cities need back-end infrastructure that's super scalable and can scale on the fly, kind of like how power companies handle peak demand during a heat wave.
Flexible capacity.
Right. Cloud-based systems often make the most sense here, offering that flexibility without the city needing huge upfront investments in physical servers. But it's a major consideration. It's an energy challenge and an IT scalability challenge combined.
Okay, power and compute. What's next?
Challenge number two, trust, data privacy, and security. This might be the biggest hurdle, honestly, because it's so human.
The people side of things.
Yeah, Nick Holmes from ServiceNow puts it bluntly. The bigger barrier that we've got right now is us. It's us wanting to share that information. It's us feeling comfortable that the information that I share is not going to get surfaced on the internet. He calls it a cultural argument, a personality argument. Public acceptance might lag behind the technology.
People being wary of surveillance, misuse of data.
Exactly. Emma Zentech raises these concerns too. AI relies on vast data from cameras, apps, social media. That naturally leads to fears about tracking, misuse. Earth Day specifically calls out facial recognition tech as having risks for privacy and freedom if not handled extremely carefully.
And the security risk must be huge, too. All that data.
Massive. As Forbes highlights, when cities become hubs for these huge, valuable data sets, they become prime targets for cyber attacks. AI leaders must have robust cybersecurity systems and processes detecting threats, protecting data, responding quickly. Interestingly, they might even use AI defensively to fight off AI-driven attacks in real time.
Using AI to fight AI.
It's coming to that. Solutions involve strong tech guardrails, top-notch security, techniques like de-identification and anonymization of data, as Earth Day suggests. But Costi Pericos adds a bit of nuance, too, reminding us that as consumers, we share our data with different technologies and apps every day, banking, social media, fitness trackers.
True. We do share a lot already.
Right. So while the concerns are absolutely valid and need addressing, there might also be a gradually shifting comfort level if trust is built and privacy is demonstrably protected.
Trust is key. Okay. Power, trust. What else?
Challenge number three, breaking down those infamous silos and fostering collaboration.
Getting different departments to work together.
The classic problem. Costa Pericos emphasizes this isn't about a single government entity doing it all. City services are all interconnected, aren't they? Roads affect buses, which affect policing needs, and so on. They have to work seamlessly, and that absolutely demands ecosystems of technology players, of data providers, and of government agencies all collaborating.
Public-private partnerships.
Absolutely essential, according to Jumbi Adulbaram. So much AI innovation happens in the private sector. These partnerships bring funding, expertise, help get early wins, and scale things up faster. Project Hafnia in Dubuque, Iowa, that traffic management project, is a perfect example. Security Today details how that public-private collaboration achieved incredible results.
And cities probably don't have AI PhDs just sitting around in the IT department.
Generally not. So partnering with universities or research institutions is vital for training city staff, getting access to expertise. Both Jumbi Adulbaram and Forbes mention this. And finally, cities need to learn from each other. Joining consortia like the Global Smart Cities Alliance, going to Smart City Expos, sharing best practices is crucial so everyone doesn't have to reinvent the wheel.
Collaboration on multiple levels. Okay, one more challenge.
Yes, and for many, it's challenge number 4. Simply where to begin. The sheer scale of becoming AI-powered can feel overwhelming, paralyzing even.
Analysis paralysis.
Exactly. Nick Holmes offers some really practical advice here, something applicable to almost any big project. Think big, start small, scale fast.
Think big, start small, scale fast. I like that.
Me too. He compares it to learning to ride a bike. You'll wobble, maybe fall, but you have to get on and try. You can't learn just by reading about it. His advice for cities: start with something discrete, something that's measurable. Find good internal sponsors, good external partners, and critically, have those ethical and technical guardrails in place from the start.
So don't try to boil the ocean.
Precisely. Pick a manageable project, prove the value, learn from it, and then build momentum. That incremental success is key.
Those are definitely big hurdles, but it's encouraging to hear there are practical ways forward and that cities are navigating them. So if you're, say, a city manager listening or just someone really interested in how your city could improve, what are the winning strategies? Let's focus on the solutions now. How are these AI leaders actually succeeding?
Great question. We don't need to guess. That Deloitte Forbes report on AI-powered cities gives us real data. They identified the top 20% of cities surveyed as AI leaders.
The top 20%.
Yeah, these are the cities most mature in using AI, traditional, generative, responsible use, the whole package. And the payoff is clear. 78% of these leaders feel prepared for future urban challenges, compared to only 63% of the less mature cities. Even more striking, almost 3 times as many AI leaders feel very well prepared.
Wow, that's a significant difference. So there's a proven path.
It really suggests there is. And the report outlines several key best practices these leaders follow. It's a kind of blueprint.
Okay, let's hear them. What's first?
First, top-down commitment. This isn't happening by accident. AI leaders have a clear vision, a solid plan, and dedicated budget for AI initiatives, often driven from the national or regional level down to the city. It's treated as a strategic priority.
Leadership buy-in.
Crucial. Absolutely. Second, they build a modern data and IT foundation. This means investing in cloud infrastructure for scalability and, crucially, unifying data management across the silos, creating that single source of truth and making sure the data is widely accessible securely, often via cloud platforms.
Yeah, the foundation's right.
Exactly. Third, they actively develop AI skills and talent. They know tech is useless without skilled people, so they train leaders, staff, even residents. They partner with universities to create a talent pipeline, maybe run AI boot camps. They're building local capacity.
Investing in people. Makes sense.
Fourth, they cultivate an AI innovation ecosystem. It's not just about hiring their own experts. They bring together people from universities, research labs, tech companies, startups, creating a collaborative hub to drive things forward. Some even hold regular meetings with diverse vendors to ensure they build a cohesive, cost-effective digital backbone, avoiding getting locked into one supplier.
Building a community around AI.
Right. Fifth, these leaders actively transform urban domains through AI. They apply AI traditional, generative, and now exploring agentic to create real solutions, from that predictive maintenance we talked about to intuitive self-service portals for citizens. They're pushing the envelope, even using things like AI-generated synthetic data to fill gaps or protect privacy.
Applying it broadly.
Yes. Sixth, they unlock value by combining AI with other technologies. AI rarely works alone. Leaders leverage cloud platforms, maybe use blockchain for secure transactions, integrate IoT sensors for data collection, and deploy those sophisticated digital twins for planning and simulation. It's about the synergy.
Got it. Using the whole tech toolkit.
And finally, perhaps most critically, they keep data security and privacy top of mind. They understand the heightened risks. They install robust cybersecurity systems, proactive processes, even use AI defensively. Building and maintaining trust through strong security is non-negotiable.
That comprehensive approach makes sense. You mentioned Dubuque, Iowa earlier as an example of collaboration.
Yes, Project Hafnia. Security Today provides great detail. It was a public-private partnership with Milestone Systems and Vadio. Milestone invested heavily in creating a secure, high-quality, and legally compliant data library. They spent thousands of hours meticulously annotating raw traffic video footage.
Annotating, like labeling things in the video.
Exactly. Labeling cars, pedestrians, traffic flow. This high-quality labeled data allowed Vadio to train their AI models incredibly effectively, boosting accuracy from around 80% to over 95%. That's huge.
Wow, data quality makes a massive difference.
Massive. And the platform they built is designed to be scalable, transferable, a blueprint other cities can potentially adopt. It perfectly illustrates that think big, start small, scale fast idea. They picked a specific problem, collaborated effectively, proved the value, and created something reusable. Pragmatic, focused innovation.
That's a really practical example. Okay, we've talked tech, strategy, challenges, but underpinning all of this has to be ethics,
Yeah.
right? Balancing all this power with human values. This feels like where it gets really interesting, maybe the most critical part.
You've absolutely nailed it. This is perhaps the most complex and arguably the most important dimension. The ethical landscape here is just as intricate as the technology itself.
So what are the big ethical fault lines?
Well, one major tension, which multiple sources flag, is data privacy versus potential surveillance overreach. We know AI needs data to work effectively, for safety, for efficiency, but collecting all that data inevitably raises worries about individual privacy. Earth Day puts it starkly. Technologies like facial recognition risk violating privacy and freedom rights, especially if misused.
It's a fine line.
It's a very fine line. Even techniques like anonymizing data aren't foolproof. Sometimes data can be re-identified. It's a constant balancing act between the collective good and individual liberty.
And what about bias in the AI itself?
Another huge issue. Algorithmic bias.
Hmm.
Amazon Tech and Earth Day both highlight this. AI learns from data. If that training data reflects historical biases or has gaps or is based on flawed assumption,
Then the AI learns those biases.
exactly. It can lead to AI systems that reinforce existing inequalities, maybe urban planning that neglects certain communities or services that don't work well for specific groups. This isn't just theoretical, it has real-world impacts, potentially making cities less fair, not more.
That's deeply concerning.
It is. Then there's the challenge of transparency and interpretability. AI models, especially complex ones, can be like black boxes, as Amazon Tech puts it. It's hard to understand why they make a particular decision.
Right. If you don't know how it works, how can you trust it?
Precisely. For planners, policymakers, and especially for citizens, understanding the how, or at least the why, behind AI decisions is fundamental for building trust. Opacity breeds suspicion. And we also have to consider the digital divide. Not everyone has a smartphone, reliable internet, or the skills to use these new digital services. Amazon Tech stresses that AI cities must benefit people from all backgrounds, regardless of income or digital access. Otherwise, we risk creating a two-tiered city, deepening inequality.
So tackling these requires deliberate effort. What do the guardrails look like?
It needs a multi-pronged approach to build ethical AI and governance frameworks. Think of it as installing safety features. This includes designing AI systems to be transparent, fair, and inclusive right from the start, as Stack AI urges. Ethics by design, establishing clear lines of accountability. Who is responsible when an AI system makes a mistake or causes harm? Stack AI points out this clarity is essential. Creating community-driven AI governance structures. Earth Day advocates for engaging diverse citizens and stakeholders in shaping how AI is used, building public trust through participation. It can't just be top-down tech deployment, and crucially, ensuring human oversight, as Amazon Tech suggests. Humans need to remain in the loop, especially for critical decisions, providing judgment, context, and ethical reasoning that AI simply doesn't have.
Human judgment remains key.
Absolutely. But the payoff for getting this right, for navigating these ethical minefields carefully, is immense. The Forbes report notes that cities focusing on their mission and building trust with employees, with citizens, achieve stronger preparedness and resilience. It ensures the AI-powered city actually serves people, enhancing life for everyone, not just chasing technological novelty. It's about building cities that are smart, yes, but also wise and fair.
That's a really powerful point, focusing on human values alongside the tech. Okay, as we start to wrap up this deep dive, let's look forward. What's the ultimate vision here? If we get this right, what kind of future are we building in these AI-powered cities?
The vision is truly transformative. It could redefine not just city operations, but the very relationship between citizens and government. Bill Eggers talks about this idea of anticipatory government.
We touched on that, predicting and preventing.
Exactly. Using AI and analytics so governments can not only predict undesirable activities, but also prevent them from occurring. And it's broad, preventing fraud, predicting disease outbreaks to intervene early, forecasting climate events to mitigate damage, even predicting future workforce skill needs and connecting people to the right training before their current job disappears.
Proactive across the board.
Right. As Eggers says, an ounce of prevention really is worth a pound of cure, especially in government. It shifts governance from being mostly reactive to actively shaping a better, more stable future.
That's a fundamental shift.
It is. And Jumbi Adulbaran offers an even more profound concept. The idea that the production of AI knowledge needs to have the same profile as a utility.
AI as a utility, like
Yeah.
water or electricity.
Exactly. Think about what that implies. It needs to be easy to consume, like flipping a switch or turning on a tap, seamlessly integrated, scalable, able to meet growing demand as the city evolves, reliable. Because if the city's AI utility goes down, it could cause massive disruption, just like a blackout. And, as Bill Eggers adds, widely available, equitable access for everyone across the city, just like any other essential infrastructure. No digital deserts.
So AI becomes part of the basic fabric of the city, available to all.
That's the vision. And it brings us back to the sheer scale of this change. Jumby reiterates, a technology change like this comes once in a very, very long time. This one is going to be much bigger and much, much more impactful because it really impacts every single aspect of the way the city operates. He's convinced you can't find a city function or service that won't be enhanced by AI.
It touches everything.
Everything. But the goal, if we manage this transition thoughtfully and ethically, isn't just efficiency. It's to create urban environments that are both efficient and human-centric, as Stacky Eye puts it. Ultimately, as Earth Day suggests, it's about building greener, smarter cities that are more well-adept to future climate change. Cities that work better, anticipate our needs, protect the planet, and genuinely enhance our collective quality of life.
Wow. What a journey we've taken today.
Yeah.
We started by unpacking that shift from just smart cities to truly AI-powered ones, understanding how AI moves things from passive observation to proactive intelligence. We looked under the hood at the data infrastructure and real-time systems making it possible. Then we dove into so many concrete examples transforming traffic, safety, sustainability, infrastructure, citizen service.
In action.
Yeah, we distinguished between generative AI and the emerging power of agentic AI, promising even more autonomy. And importantly, we faced the real challenges power needs, trust and privacy, breaking silos, but also learned from the best practices of leading cities who are getting it right.
Finding the path forward.
So what does this all mean for you, living in these evolving cities? It means the potential for a smoother, safer, greener, and hopefully more human-centered urban life isn't just science fiction anymore. It's a future that's rapidly taking shape right now.
And that really raises a fascinating final question for all of us to think about, doesn't it? If AI does make our cities incredibly efficient, providing services almost like a utility, anticipating our needs, solving problems sometimes before we even notice them, removing a lot of that daily urban friction, what does that mean for our role as citizens?
How do we change?
Exactly. How might our relationship with our city, even with government itself, fundamentally shift when the environment around us feels so seamlessly managed, so intelligently responsive? When the city anticipates and provides, what new forms of community engagement, personal initiative, or even just human connection might emerge in the space created by that reduced friction? This deep dive shows the incredible possibilities when AI is used wisely to build cities that are not just technologically advanced, but truly sustainable, livable, and ultimately enhance the human experience within them. It's an exciting, maybe a little daunting, but definitely a profoundly human future we're building.